What are you, nuts? Now we need radical treatment. And the White House says, oh, we're past the worst of it. Don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, though, unsustainable, so we're going to have massive tax increases. Wait a minute, I thought we were past the worst of it. Why do we have massive tax increases? What are you talking about? I thought the debt didn't matter. I thought we could grow our way out of this. Let me ask you this question. Anybody who says, oh, we can just grow our way out of this spending, you notice they're not saying that anymore? I think it's because they realize you're not stupid. Where's the growth coming from? Oh, auto manufacturing. Yeah. We have Toyotas driving down the streets, and they're just driving themselves into poles, and people still say, yeah, I'd rather have that than the GM. Steel? Is it coming from the steel? Oh, no, we closed all those down. Yeah, that went away. How about clothing? No, we don't make clothing anymore. Oh, Apple. Apple's gonna save us. Nope, made elsewhere. Check your iPhone. Designed in California. Assembled by slaves in China. I think they leave the slave part out. How about the green jobs? Yeah, solar panels. Yeah. Do you really think we can make solar panels cheaper with our union labor than they can make in, say, India? Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's be honest with ourselves. We have a problem, America. And because we've all, I mean, look, I did it too. We all did. We all wanted to believe the lie. We believed it. We had a good time. Now it's time to sober up. We're all going to hurt with these changes. I got to tell you, the first 5 years of my recovery from alcohol, I didn't think I was going to make it. I mean, it was a lot easier in some ways to go back to drinking. But drinking will kill you. You'll be a slave to it or anybody who will hold you up. It takes a long time, and it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes commitment to do it. But that's what we've tried to get you to think out of the box here. We've been proposing stuff from Cato. This cancer is deadly. So what do? Okay, we make the cuts. Okay, besides what I'm saying we need to cut spending, but we also need to cut taxes. I've shown you the economic reality that was put into place in the early 60s, where we tied the world's economies together. We did it to stop world wars and nuclear holocaust. This is announced in Carol Quigley's book in 1962. This is critical for people to understand, and if you're a regular viewer of the show, I'm sorry to repeat this, but you've got to pass this on to your friends. Mutually assured destruction. What they talked about is the way that we would stop it is if Russia sent their missiles over to us, we'd launch our missiles, we would destroy each other. But there was also something else. All of the other countries would pressure, this was all UN stuff, global government, they would pressure us and the Russians, and the rest of the world would say, no, don't do it, don't go to war, don't go to war, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Because if we did it, they also tied all of our economies together. So everything was tied together. So if we destroyed each other, it would destroy the whole world economically. They did it for a good reason, to stop world wars and nukes. But what happens if we don't launch the missiles? What happens if, let's say, our center of economics goes down? And so does Spain, so does England, so does France. Everyone else, it starts to go down, it's a domino. Mutually assured economic destruction. It is the system. If you understand this, you'll understand why I say, you can't do this. We must get out of this system because it's designed to collapse. So how do we do it? Well, there's billions of dollars all around the world. Billions, trillions. People looking to build, they have ideas, they're wealthy, they want to start a business, whatever. Where do you go in this system? Well, if we're all doing the same thing, we're all spending ourselves into oblivion, we're all playing the same game that, no, we can prop it up, we're all going down. Somebody has to be left to reboot the system. Please, let it be us. We can do it. But we have to take ourselves out of this system. And how do we do it? We dramatically, we did it in 1920. We cut our budget, we cut our spending by 50%. And we cut our taxes, make them the most amazing taxes ever. One page, how much did you make? Great, subtract 12%. That's it. Make it so everybody, all the money from the rest of the world says, I'm coming to America. We're known for restarting things. Let's be the place that people rush to. It's going to be painful. And just like chemotherapy, it's going to make us sick for a while. But in the end, it is the only way to save the patient. Experts say that there's a 10-80-10 category for people. If you're confronted with a crisis, 10% respond the wrong way. They're just like, I gotta go. The people who said, World Trade Center, the people who said, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go back and sit at my desk and I'm just gonna continue work. 10% do the wrong thing. 80% sit at their desk and say, well, the speaker didn't tell me. Magic speaker, should we evacuate the building? And 10% say, Bill, a plane just flew into the building. Get out. Go, go, go. You have to ask yourself, are you, I'm just going to wait around. I'm just going to sit it out. Or are you the 10% that leads? You must, that was a leader. That was a leader. That was a leader. All of our founders, they were leaders. They didn't want to, but they did. They didn't want to do these things. They mutually pledged to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors. They all thought they were going to die. Many of them did. But they were right, they were righteous, they were God-fearing people, they were charitable people, and there were people that told the truth. Be the 10% that tells the truth, that are charitable in their heart and have faith. That 10% is the 10% that will put America back on the right track. Let it be you. We'll show you the last piece of the plan next. Breaking down the budget, cutting about a quarter of the spending. I think we should do about half. Cato Institute, more, oh my gosh, more liberal than me. We want to talk a little bit about where I said here, 10% respond wrong, 80% wait for help, and 10% lead. And I used the analogy of 9/11. Where are the stairs? Where are the stairs? We think we're going into uncharted territories, but we're not. We did this in 1920, and it's being done all over the world, so let's look at those things. Ben Sherwood is here. He's the author of The Survivors Club, and Chris Edwards, director of the tax policy studies at the Cato Institute and author of Downsizing the Federal Government. And a great website, I didn't even know was yours until earlier this week, Downsizing the Government. Is it .org or .org? .org. It's a great website. Okay, so Chris, first let's start with you. Show me the stairs. Where are the exits? Where are the things that people have already done to where we go, oh, okay, well, we just do that?
Well, we got examples in our own country and many countries abroad of how the government has cut and people have responded positively. Look at welfare reform in 1996. Before Republicans and Bill Clinton put that into effect, Democrats and liberals are saying, oh, it's horrible, there's going to be millions of people sleeping on grates in the thing. 1996 welfare reform was a huge success. Welfare rolls went down, and I bet if you talk to all those folks who move from welfare to the workforce, they'd be they're much happier with their lives. Look at another example. In New Zealand, they completely abolished their farm subsidies in the 1980s. Initially, farmers were against it. They marched in the streets, they protested the government, but after this was put in place back in 1984, now farmers in New Zealand are the most free market in the world. They don't want subsidies anymore. They're really proud of what they do today.
Do you have any idea who's beating us now as the world breadbasket? I heard that stat the other day that we're no longer the leader in food. And I thought, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
How did that happen?
No, I mean, farm subsidies that distort our agricultural economy. I think they make farmers worse off. And, you know, we saw in New Zealand when you abolish farm subsidies, the farmers, they diversified their land use. They went into new crops like kiwi fruit. We see that in grocery stores now. Why? Because New Zealand farmers said, hey, we need to do something new, and they did kiwi fruit.